hard season, and for English fans, let's hope it's a winning night. Latchford and Keegan there. Latchford touching it on now for Kevin Keegan. Peter Barnes. Trevor Brooking. Ray Wilkins looking up to see what's around. And Phil Thompson. It's an airless night. They need really to pace themselves. Sara now the captain for Austria. And an injury there right in the opening minutes to Kevin Keegan, unless it's just somebody snapped the back of his boot off him. And Mills letting that one go untouched. Do you see what happened there, Bobby?
Absolutely interesting. I mean, the game's been started, 15 seconds, and already the defending player on Keegan was so close to him that as the ball was attempted to be laid up to Keegan, he knocked his boot off. And that's how close Keegan is going to be marked here tonight. It's pretty obvious. Look at the situation here now. I would think Keegan's going to have to work very, very hard to destroy this man-for-man marking.
A long kick then by Peter Shilton. Number 4 there, Baumeister. Usually a midfield player. They're going to play him, they say, on the left side of the back 4. This is Sara, the captain, winning his 50th cap. And the number 10 is Yara, playing in Germany with a beautiful left foot. But not on that occasion. Straight to a little ball boy and a throw to England, which Phil Neal will take. Phil Thompson. Neal. Played in towards Latchford, but Petsai putting it back to Concilia, his goalkeeper. Sara. Baumeister. And Peter Barnes doing a good job there, tackling back. But a free kick, no, it's a throw, which Sara will take. Yara, back to Sara. Played into Kreutz. Back for Kreutz again, trying to switch it on quickly, and that time Wetzel, the number 7, brought down, and another free kick to Austria. Sara will take it. Hit in lower that time. And Petsai was right in there, and it's still bobbing about. Prohaska here turning the ball back to the number 4, Baumeister. And wide of Shilton's goal. From the number 4, Ernst Baumeister. And England never really in a lot of trouble there. As you can see, this shot right across the face of the goal. And Shilton guiding it all the way. Meanwhile, Ray Wilkins building the attack up now and finding Peter Barnes. But again, the Austrians get possession. The long ball now towards Yatin, playing his first game for Austria, but tucked back quite easily by Phil Thompson. Wilkins. Latchford. Wilkins nicking it through for Brooking. And Petsai getting in first. And now Wilkins, no, the chance there wasn't for him to gather it up. And Watson lost it as well. And the Austrians coming through now with Kreutz. All the way for Kreutz. Brought down, no penalty. My word, that looked a bit dubious though. And Kreutz really showed a tremendous turn of speed. And I think maybe England a little lucky to get away not conceding a penalty there. I'm just wondering what Bobby Robson felt about that one.
Well, you have to admit it was a little close. He was well on his way. He was inside the box. It was a tackle from behind, and when that occurs, there's always an element of risk about it.
So the Austrians coming hard, and certainly I felt a little unlucky not to get a penalty there. And it was Kreutz, the danger man. In fact, he's a striker playing in midfield today. Showed all his striking ability then. But here's Keegan now for England. Mills on the far side. Keegan, a nice touch there for Brooking. And come through to Concilia. Baumeister. To the number 3, Obermeier. To the number 6, Hattenberger, who's the man who will be marking Keegan. Prohaska. And Petsai. Playing a lot of nice controlled football at the moment, the Austrians. Confirming at the moment, at any rate, the English belief that this could be their toughest game. A throw which Yara will take. England's throw. Neil to Koppel. Just over 5 minutes gone, no score in this game in the Prater Stadium in Vienna between Austria and England. For those of you coming in from work, no goals. Peter Barnes now for England. Running the ball out of play. Robert Yara with the throw for Austria. Obermeier in a little bit of trouble there, and Keegan getting the better of him. A touch there that almost came through, and the shot just past the post there by Steve Koppel. Well, it was Obermeier's mistake in the first place that led in Keegan here. The little touch which didn't really fall for Latchford, and it looked then as though there might be a chance for Koppel, but the chance wasn't taken. Wilkins with a jump. Koppel. Free kick. They look a tough side, the Austrians. They're getting some tackles in, and England are feeling them. But they've got a free kick for this, and looking a master at free kicks. Keegan's made a run towards the near post. Now he's gone back. Brooking with the kick. Floated to Watson on the far side, who'd come up, but the Austrian head got there. It'll be a throw for England. And Mills with it. Barnes. I thought the bounce was going to defeat Phil Neal there, but it didn't in the end. He's found Keegan. Brooking. Oh, a free kick. Bobby Robson, the tackling looking a little fierce at the moment.
It's pretty obvious here that the Austrians want to win this match very much in front of their home crowd. The tackling is almost ferocious, in fact. England, the English players here are going to have to...
Well, Latchford very nearly got in there, and the English players very nearly did it, Bobby. They were really caught out there, the Austrians, in defence. There's the free kick. And Latchford running in there. A save by Concilia, but in point of fact there had been an infringement. It was a free kick to Austria on the edge of the penalty area. It's with Koppel. Played for Neal. Playing in the early ball there towards Latchford. Concilia electing to punch. And Baumeister getting it away to Prohaska. The challenge by Neal that time was unfair. The English tackle going in as well, and the Belgian referee calling him back. Prohaska, the man who was tackled by Neal, sufficiently recovered to be on the ball now for Austria. Neal turning it back to Thompson. Bills coming across to support him. Keegan very deep at the moment. Latchford playing the ball in, but playing it straight there to the Austrians. Kurtz, who got through a moment ago and was pulled down inside the area. Now Yara, never let him get it onto the left foot, but it's Keegan now instead for England. Wilkins. Barnes outside him. Played in this time towards Latchford, and Concilia diving at the feet of the England centre forward. It's a goal kick. Ten minutes gone. Gowder playing it forward here for number 6 Hattenberger. Looking now in a bit of space for England. Barnes outside him. Latchford through the middle. Keegan really scuffing through the middle as well. If Brooking can pick him up, but it's a little too far for Keegan. So instead it's Baumeister. Kreutz. Baumeister stopped by Neil. Kreutz, who had 5 years in Holland with Feyenoord, is number 9. Petsai, a lot of skill there to beat Keegan as he came in. Sara, Yara, the foul by Thompson, and the referee feeling for a yellow card. I think he's saying that's the second time that Phil Thompson had got that sort of challenge in. I can't recall an earlier one. But I suggest maybe the Belgian referee was setting out to make an example to all concerned that this tackling has got to be toned down a little bit. A free kick then for Austria. And I imagine that Yara might be in there somewhere. Indeed he is, number 10. A free kick specialist for the Austrians. In fact, it's Baumeister who comes and takes it quickly and finds Sara in space on the far side. Cross coming in there. And in fact, Yurtin, the new captain, number 11, couldn't quite get to it. I said to us yesterday, I'd rather be making my first appearance against Luxembourg than against England, but it would be so good to score. 24 years old. Peter Shilton with the kick. Prohaska, and a handball there by Brooking, and a free kick to Austria. Certainly, although the Austrian manager Stott said that he picked a side that was technically good on the ball because he couldn't match England in terms of fight and spirit, well, we've seen a certain amount of competitiveness, to say the least, from the Austrians so far in the opening 12 minutes or so. Petsai now, the big defender who plays in Germany for them, playing it forward but too firmly, and a goal kick for England. Phil Neal. Too high for Keegan, in fact accused of jumping in on Hattenberger. A free kick again to Austria. Baumeister, Obermeier, Petsai, Sara ahead of him. It's number 6, Hattenberger. And that's Dave Watson and Phil Thompson getting in a bit of a muddle there, but it's Phil Thompson not getting it very far even then. And the ball played now for Yurtin, a chance for him, and a chance that he's wasted. But England in a certain amount of trouble there. Bobby Robson, your early impressions now?
Well, at the moment, the Austrians look fractionally the better side. They play with an awful lot of spirit and a great desire to win. Their marking and tackling of opponents is something to be seen here. I mean, those are two of the basic principles of winning the ball back, and they're doing that in splendid fashion. And that was an awfully good ball there inside of Phil Thompson. Inside of Neil, the Liverpool full-back there, and he just got caught watching the ball a little bit, and a slice shot let us off the hook somewhat, because I think if the outside left had got on a good strong shot there, Shilton would have had to have made a very good save. At the moment, on shots at goal, it's about 2 each, so it looks as though it's not such a defensive game as I would have thought in the first quarter hour or so. So this is going to be a football match.
Well, there's a bit of a tussle over there at the moment, and Prohaska right in the middle of it there with Mick Mills. And it'll be a throw to Austria. Sala. Obermeyer. Played forward to Petsai. But little Steve Koppel getting in there first, at least to rob Petsai, but not to keep the ball away from the Austrians. Nice bit of skill by Sala. And quite an interesting little lob in there. And we could be in trouble now until Phil Neal gets it away. Mick Mills helping it on, a throw to the Austrians. Quarter of an hour gone, no score. Wetzel now. Wetzel with a little cross in there off Phil Thompson for a corner to the Austrians. Prohaska there now. Now Yara onto that left foot. And a goal kick. Mick Mills back to Peter Shilton. And Yurtin now put through once again. Watson coming across to cover, doing the job well. And then just finding Wilkins. Watson, in fact, being watched here tonight by the West German club Werder Bremen. He was telling me yesterday that it's a move that wouldn't be too bad for him. They're also watching Obermeyer here tonight. But it's Peter Barnes who's got to be watched at the moment for England, going all the way through and hitting Concilia, and he really knew absolutely nothing about it. A really beautiful run there by Peter Barnes for England. England still keeping up this pressure now with Neal. Here's Wilkins. That one blocked by Petsai. And in fact there's a free kick. But a great run by Peter Barnes, whose confidence really has grown on this tour. I think from the moment that he scored that goal against Scotland, really going through there, and the keeper knew so little about that. That could have bounced anywhere. But here's Yara again. Get the impression that a lot of things could spring from this man. Another free kick. Foul by Phil Neal on Yurtin. Hattenberger. Sara. Hattenberger this time to Obermeyer, the other player being watched by the German club Werder Bremen tonight. And Phil Neal turning that one back, but I wonder, no, he couldn't save the corner for Peter Shilton, so the Austrians get a corner now on the left-hand side to be taken by Kreutz. Petsai is there, the big tall number 5. Played wide here though for Baumeister. And a beautiful header there by Petsai. A magnificent Austrian goal, putting him into the lead with 18 gone, and Petsai, the defender who likes to come forward and score, has done just that brilliantly. Kreutz with the corner. Played for Baumeister to hit a lovely, tantalizing ball inside. There's the ball going in, and Petsai with a beautiful diving header, giving Peter Shilton no chance at all of putting Austria into the lead. So England up against it now. 19 minutes gone. Wilkins, Watson. And away for the goal kick. Bobby Robson, quite a goal.
Yes, we got caught with a short corner, of course. Ball played wide to a left-back position, who was going to knock it in early, changed his mind, played a shorter ball, and a very good early ball, first time by another defending player, curled ball behind a wall of defenders. Dave Watson playing for offside, not quite going with Petsai, and we've paid the punishment.
So it's Baumeister now for Austria. Obermeier. Yara playing it forward again to Petsai. Baumeister with the throw. Yurtin beaten away unfairly by Phil Neal. So Austria's free kick, the place really bubbling here at the moment, and England with a real battle on their hands. Playing with a lot of confidence, the Austrians, at the moment, as Baumeister plays the ball through again. It hits Ray Wilkins on the hand. It's a free kick again to the Austrians. Yara will take it, number 10. Curling it in once more with that left foot. Petsai has gone up there, nodding it down. And a foul as he got up. A free kick for England, which was just as well, with Wetzel in a position to take a pot on goal. Yara getting the ball forward again. Wilkins. Thompson. 3 substitutes incidentally allowed in this game. What good work there by Keegan, and a goalkeeper at any time. 3 subs plus 1 goalkeeper at any time. Great work by Keegan. Here's Wilkins though, delaying that pass just a little too long, and the Austrians with a chance to get it away. Neal. Thompson. And Petsai chesting that one away, looking for a chance to link up with the attack once more as Austria come forward. Wetzel on the far side, stopped that time by Dave Watson. Brooking. Trying to get Koppel in there, but Petsai is becoming something of a pest for England at both ends of the field. But Brooking finding Barnes at the free kick for the foul by the Austrian number 5. The ball now with Wilkins, now with Keegan. Spotting Neal on this side of the field. Phil Neal playing it in once more. Petsai getting it away to Kreutz. Baumeister. Kreutz has made a break through the middle, wants the ball and gets it. He's got Yurtin outside him, and there's the ball played beautifully for Yurtin. A good ball played inside, and England might have been in a bit of trouble. Watson getting a touch, and Wilkins getting it away well this time to Peter Barnes. Koppel inside him, and Latchford. Mills has made a run down the left. Bit of space there for Koppel, and the shot by Peter Barnes. Cannons out here to Keegan. A back heel, misjudged, and here come those white shirts of Austria again. Led by Prohaska, and Watson inviting Shilton to come out before Wetzel could get in. So Koppel for England. Mills. Short one for Keegan. Looking to attack Hattenberger. Finding Brooking, but Brooking was offside. Coming up to 25 minutes. Let me repeat the score again. Austria 1, England 0. The goal by Petsai. Yara plays for Duisburg in the West German First Division. Forward towards Kreutz. Nice touch there again from Yara. And Phil Thompson, who's already received the yellow card, bringing Yurtin down. So it's a free kick to Austria. Baumeister taking it with a moving ball. Yara's left foot going in there again. And a long shot there from Sara that for a moment had Shilton a little bothered. But I think that shows the confidence that the Austrians have got at the moment. They're shooting from all distances and all angles, and that was their skipper, Robert Yara. Just how close was it? Well, just bending away about a yard. Keegan going for this, but there are three Austrians there with him. Watson, for the moment, beaten by Prohaska, who was such a success for Austria in Argentina. Kreutz, number 9, to Yara. Petsai. Kreutz again. Yurtin outside him. Bit of space here for him to exploit for himself, though, but Keegan was there. Here comes to Yara, the little ball passed through there. And that's the second goal. Scored that time by Welzel. And Austria are 2-0 in the lead. Number 7, Welzel, the scorer. And there's a lot of joy and a lot of red and white flags in the Prater Stadium now, with England 2 down with 26 minutes gone. Again, Kreutz made a tremendous break. This lovely little ball, though, by Yara, just clipped off an England defender. And in the end, it wasn't a too difficult job for Welzel as long as he could get there before Shilton. England 2 down. So now Koppel. Wilkins, the need to pull something back fairly quickly. And Koppel with a chance, but he stumbled when it looked as though it might be on. He's got it across in there. Keegan! And England have struck back at once. And Kevin Keegan has scored the goal that's done it. What a leap by Keegan, and what good work by Steve Koppel as well. And as Bobby Robson was saying a moment or two ago, we've really got a game of football now. Koppel played an enormous part in that. It looked almost as though he'd lost his chance. And with Concilia losing the ball there, turned it back. But look at the jump here, though, of Kevin Keegan. And that makes it 2-1. Hattenberger for Austria. And how England needed that goal to get a finger hold back on this game that was rapidly getting away from them. Keegan again. Played for Barnes. Keegan. Wilkins. Now Watson. So often teams get caught on the rebound, and the Austrians must have relaxed just a little bit for a moment or two there, having gone 2 up. And England in no time at all were back at their throats. That looked like a foul to me, but nothing was given. And here Austria coming forward once more with Kreutz. Looks a very heavily built player. Sara. Kreutz again. Back to the sweeper Obermeier. Baumeister having a tussle there with Koppel. Free kick given. Prohaska taking it. There's Keegan. Yara. Keegan quickly closing him down, claiming it was an England throw. It came off the Austrian, but the throw's been given to Austria. Yara's touch again to Prohaska. And some nice skills by the Austrian, and in fact it was a good piece of work again, a really gutsy, terrier-like piece of work by Stevie Koppel. Stuck with Prohaska and all his skills, and in the end the Austrian had to push him off the ball. That's why there was the free kick, and here's Thompson now. Latchford coming deep to get a bit of space for himself and finds Ray Wilkins. Played it again towards Keegan as he got the pace this time as he goes scurrying after that ball again. Attenberger right there with him, and Keegan not giving up the fight easily. But either a throw or a free kick to the Austrians. In fact, it's a free kick for the foul by Keegan. Half an hour gone. Austria leading by 2-1. Yurtin. Mills for England. Now Neil. Wilkins. Brooking. Mills. Barnes. Played in delicately there for Wilkins. A nice little touch there for Keegan. Played in quickly towards Latchford. Petside getting in well. A good challenge there by the Austrian number 5. And a back heel there by Dave Watson for Mick Mills. So Mills launching another attack for England. Brooking. No foul. And in fact, Brooking keeping it well. The long cross here towards Steve Koppel, battling away to get a possession there against Baumeister. Finding Phil Neal. Played in quickly there towards Keegan, who'd come towards him. And in the end, it's Hattenberger who gets it away. Only as far as Watson. Not a bad little spell this for England at the moment. 2-1 down, though. A touch by Keegan, straight through to, Koppel, straight through to Consilia. Prohaska, number 8 now, for the Austrians. Kreutz, Prohaska. To Wenzel on the far side. Back to Tsara. Prohaska. Kreutz this time looking for Hattenberger, who's been marking Keegan, but this time Keegan's back there marking him. Not a good attacking football at the moment. Mills finding Latchford. Wilkins to Brooking. Barnes. Cross once more, too high for Latchford. Somebody looking for the dropout, but it didn't fall to an England foot. Wilkins really, or rather Keegan battling really hard. And a foul on Steve Koppel, giving England the free kick. Brooking and Keegan are behind it. 4 men in the Austrian wall. Slipped in there towards Latchford. And that wasn't far off the mark, and I'm wondering whether Bob Latchford, having got free, might have done even a little better than that. Bobby Robson?
Well, I believe not, but that was exceptionally close. I mean, the goalkeeper looked at it as though it just didn't matter, and I would have said that that was just about 6 inches wide of the post. It was a lovely free kick, intelligently played in, and Bob Latchford made a very good early run, beat the offside trap. It was a good header in actual fact, and I think he'll be kicking himself about that.
Mills there covering up. As England come forward again, the chances clearly are there, but they are still 2-1 down, with 34 minutes of the first half gone. Brooking again. Thompson. Barnes trying his luck on this side, but it's Yurtin now. What a pace about him. Prohaska playing it beautifully now for Baumeister, and Shilton beautifully behind that one. But a superb break again by the Austrians. And in fact, the referee has called them back. It's a free kick, but so there may well have been that Austrian running across the centre of the goal. There may have been offside. But Shilton body beautifully behind that shot from Baumeister. Sada, Yara, Baumeister. Just a little touch forward there, and it's Prohaska this time, taking it from Obermeier. No foul, and the referee was right on top of it. Brooking with Obermeier going after him. Play for Barnes, a quick, solid challenge there by Sada, winning the ball for the Austrians. Kreutz again. Good skill there, finding Yara. This time it's Baumeister. Little cross coming in, again a deflection. But Shilton never truly troubled. Played by Barnes too firmly for Brooking to gather it. And Phil Thompson heading that one away. Watson to Wilkins. It's giving Hattenberger no chance there. Keegan. Mills to Keegan. Fooling Yurtin. Looking to see what's on. A simple ball, inviting Mills to come forward again. Now Wilkins playing a delightful ball there if Brooking can get to it. And an England throw. Now can Brooking get this one across? Hitting low. And Kreutz. Fantastic bit of skill there, but well, he got a throw. Eltsel. Yara losing out this time. Barnes finding Latchford. Played for Wilkins. First time for Keegan. Will he let fly? No. In fact, it comes to Bob Latchford again. Well, he was brought down on the edge of the box, and that might have been interesting as well. In fact, it's a handball by Petsai giving England a free kick outside. But that's just as Austria might have had a penalty early on in the game. That was dangerously close to being a penalty, I would have thought, for England, as Latchford was brought down. He's still down and injured. Bobby Robson, your view on that?
Yes, I think that's a one-for-one situation there. Bob Latchford comfortably had the ball in front, certainly in the box. And the defending player made a very rash tackle. I don't think he played the ball at all. He kicked Bob Latchford from behind, certainly brought him down. Very close thing indeed.
So Latchford injured, and in fact Trevor Francis doing a bit of warming up as Fred Street tends that left ankle. And the Austrians, as you can see, with that four-man wall beginning to form up to get ready to face a free kick, which Brooking will take. And with Dave Watson, a fairly menacing figure as far as the Austrians are concerned on the far side of that penalty area. So Latchford okay to go on. Brooking with the free kick. Floated in there once more, but blew too low to get to Keegan. 6 minutes to go to half-time. Austria leading by 2-1. Petsai and Welzel, their scorer. Kevin Keegan having pulled one back for England. Keegan's header on for Koppel. Kreutz, who's really been a star this first half for Austria. And here come the Austrians again. Crossed in once more. And a goal! And Welzel has done it again to make it 3-1. A superb individual goal Just when it seemed that England had recovered from being 2 down and were truly right back in the fight, Robson, the number 7. A great run here, ripping the English defence apart, turning inside Mick Mills here, and then letting fly with the left foot past Peter Shilton. And that's 3-1. So England have another severe task ahead of them. Ray Wilkins. Get a comment from Bobby Robson in a moment when the ball is out of play. Mills knocking it forward again. Can England come back as quickly once more? Keegan. And England have got a corner. Brooking will take the corner. Again, Dave Watson's up in there. And it might go anywhere. Koppel looking to get a shot in. Phil Thompson is storming in there as well. And Prohaska bringing it away for the Austrians. Koppel fighting on though. And in the end, the free kick given away by Koppel. Bobby Robson, your view now.
Well, we've got a long way to go now to get back into this game. We were, funny enough, playing very well at the time they got their third goal on the breakaway. We were just a certain hour superiority in a sense, and I was very confident that we were going to make it a 2-2 game here within a short time. But it was a very fast break, and Betzel did very well. I thought perhaps Phil Thompson was just a little bit slow into coming over to support Mickey Mills on the break, and as a result he allowed Betzel to get the shot in, and it just simply went very close past Shilton.
Now the other end, Brooking brought down on the edge of that area, and a free kick for England. And with something like 3 minutes to go to half-time, the need now for England to get this second goal psychologically before the break there. A good free kick again by Brooking, which the Austrians were quite relieved to see over the crossbar and behind for another corner. 3-1 with 3 minutes to go to half-time. Brooking to take another corner. Watson's up there, Latchford's in there, Keegan's in there, Phil Thompson has come up as well. All the big men are up in there. But the Austrians got it away quite comfortably to Ray Wilkins. Koppel here on this side of the field. Good control by him, but Baumeister was in so quickly for the Austrians. Well, the English players said it was going to be their toughest game, and clearly they've been proved right. Koppel with the throw towards Keegan, who wanted to turn on Hattenberger, but there wasn't a chance for him. Belzel, scorer of 2 of the goals. Kreutz, who probably has been their best player. Prohaska, nice little touch here for Baumeister. And England could really be in serious trouble here tonight. 3-1 down already. And the Austrians growing, naturally enough, in confidence with every moment. Keegan now for England, though, with Brooking outside him. Shaking off Salah. But not the second time, and a free kick. Well, certainly no shortage of goals and excitement in this first half, and as we come towards half-time, the real question being, so far as the second half is concerned, whether England can really drag their way back into this game. Brooking again with the free kick. Dave Watson's gone up towards it, but it's too high for him, and it's a goal kick. Concilia with the goal kick. Quite a revenge for him, considering he was at the other end of a 7-goal beating the last time he played against England in 1973. with Yara. Kreutz, a striker who really has looked so good in the midfield tonight for the Austrians. Neil to Thompson. Play forward for Keegan. As indeed the half-time whistle goes, and what a good first half it's been for the...
In the Prater Stadium, Vienna.
And I think Ian St John must have known something, because in fact Trevor Francis is on at the start of this second half and Bob Latchford is off. In fact, we're listening with interest to what Ian was saying, and Bobby Robson was nodding agreement that the feeling very much is that in this second half that England have got to get a hold on the midfield. They've got to win the ball a little more in this midfield. And Bobby's view is that they've got to get the wingers Barnes and Koppel much more into the game than they have been. In fact, as we start the second half, I've just been joined by Peter Shilton, who was unlucky enough to have 3 foot past him in the first half. What about this Austrian side so far, Peter?
Well, obviously they're looking a good side at the moment, because I think really we've given them so much room and so much space that you know, they can't do anything else but play well at the moment, I don't think.
What about the goals that got past you? The first one in particular looked an absolute scorcher.
Yeah, he stuck it in well, actually. A lot of the lads thought he was offside, but it's difficult to say from where I was. But, you know, he just got his head to it, and that was it, really.
Well, certainly the boss, Ron Greenwood, looked a little dejected there, and with the kick-off having now taken place, Bob Latchford, I gather, has got a kick on the calf. England attacking the goal to our left in the dark shirts with white shorts. Trevor Francis immediately on the ball for England. A little bit of pace there, a good cross coming in, and that looked a lot better for England in the opening 15 seconds or so of this second half. With Austria leading, remember, by 3 goals to 1. Phil Thompson and Dave Watson both coming up now for this corner, which Trevor Brooking will take. And again, the need for England to claw their way back into this game with an early second goal in this second half. So it's Brooking. And a deep one it is. Concilia going there, punching it away. And a good punch it is too, straight to Wilson, who's already scored 2. To Sada. Have another word with Peter Shilton in a moment. I should tell you that he's up here in his tracksuit, because should Ray Clements get injured in this second half, then Peter will be back on the field. That's an arrangement the two managers have got. It's Keegan on the ball, though, for England at the moment. And not a very good ball there, straight beyond Peter Barnes. What was the mood in the dressing room at half-time then, Peter?
Well, I don't think we could quite believe just how we were playing at the time. You know, we've been told really to close everything down and try and cut out all the spaces that were appearing. I think that's where we've got to start from this half, anyway.
Thank you, Peter Shilton. It's Peter Barnes now on the ball for England. Cross coming in on the far side, and the ball falling for Keegan. Can he get the shot in? He can. And can Koppel get a shot in? And he can, and he scored. And England are really right back in it now with that goal by Steve Koppel after a good shot by Keegan that wasn't held by the keeper. Exactly the tonic England required so early in the second half. There's Mickey Mills. Peter Barnes playing the ball in here, and Keegan, in fact, picking a header up from Bymeister that didn't go very far. The keeper, in fact, not grabbing hold of it, and Koppel pouncing in the way that Dennis Law did so often for Manchester United for Scotland, picking up so many things that were just off a goalkeeper's hands there and bringing England right back into the game at 3-2. Which is exactly, Peter Shilton, what we require.
Yeah, that's just what you want now. I think that will lift the lads. As you can see, they're getting back in numbers a bit more, and there's not so many spaces as there were in the first half, so let's hope we can get another couple now.
Were you able to say anything to Ray Clements at half-time that might help him?
No, I think obviously we knew exactly how we played, and I think the lads knew they'd got to go out there and play a lot better. So Ray's been out there before, so we didn't need to say anything. He just said unlucky, had no chance, and I told him, well, I wish I hadn't won the toss this morning.
Yes, indeed. Peter Barnes coming through. If you didn't hear us earlier, in fact, they tossed up to see who should play which half, and Peter won the toss and decided he'd play in the first half. But we got quite a game here in the Prater Stadium in Vienna, with Austria leading by 3 goals to 2, with 4 minutes of the second half gone. Yara playing a nice little ball there again towards Obermeyer, and a shot by Prohaska And Ray Clements now needing to get to that one, and does so. And a quick throw out for Trevor Brooking. The ball gathering a bit of pace as it went there, and Sarah came in to Brooking, but Brooking still found Wilkins. Now Koppel in a lot of space on the far side. Played in this time for Wilkins to hit a good shot. That time Concilia got hold of it. But England are really back in this game now. The ball with Prohaska. Kreutz. And Wetzel's got through once more. Ray Clements without a chance can Phil Thompson stop it, and it's gone wide. But England were caught all over the place again. And this dangerous man, Wetzel, really Ray Clements had no chance as he came out to try and block this. But again, there were deficiencies in their defence, and the Austrian number 7 just clipping it over Ray Clements. And look how close that went to goal number 4. Phil Thompson chasing it over the byline. Keegan now, I'll have a word with Bobby Robson in a moment about these deficiencies in the England defence that we're seeing from time to time as Brooking tries to get past this man. A free kick. Already taken, it's with Francis. Nodded down, no trouble there for the keeper. Yara now for Austria. Played on for Prohaska. What about this English defence from time to time, Bob?
Well, it all boils down to pure marking, the marking of an opponent, and we've been very slack on that in certain aspects. It was partly our trouble in the first half in midfield. Brooking and Wilkins, of course, are majestic players when in possession going forward, and we have no problems there. But when we lose the ball, they're just a little bit slow to pick up. And on a man-for-man basis, we were getting outdone in the first half in midfield. And, of course, up front, the same thing applies. The 7, the 11 and the 8, the 3 forwards of the Austrian team, are getting just far too much time in which to play. And the marking of those players has got to be much tighter and much more ferocious. We've really got to nobble them. Otherwise, you know, we're going to go 4-2 down here when we are, in fact, in a very good position now.
Well, here's Peter Barnes with a good long cross there by Peter Barnes. As Bobby says, we're getting into a good position, playing with a lot more confidence early in the second half as Phil Neal picks up this ball now. Tries on the far side to find Keegan. A little chip by Kevin Keegan for Koppel, getting it towards the byline once more. And Petside getting it away for the Austrians for a throw to England down by the corner flag. Koppel will take it. Concilia, who really was responsible for that second England goal, not gathering the ball up. Francis with a backward header, and Brooking couldn't quite get in there close enough. Watson getting in there, a dominant header. Francis trying to get away from his marker. He finds Phil Thompson. It's now with Ray Wilkins. Lovely little floated ball there by Wilkins for Koppel on the far side. England's throw. 7 minutes of the second half gone. Austria leading by 3-2. Koppel again, playing the ball in towards Francis. A nice backward header there towards Brooking, and the linesman's flanked up on the far side. Get the impression that Brooking's getting forward a little more in this second half, Bobby.
Well, yes, I would have thought at some stage Ron Greenwood must have said, well, we are 3-1 down, and the only way we're going to look and get into this game again is to score, and he's obviously given a bit of license to forward players. But I'm concerned really about holding the position as well. I mean, it's nice to get back in the game by scoring, but we've also got there are two jobs in football: what to do when you've got the ball, what to do when you haven't got it. And most of our problems in this game here tonight has been when we haven't had the ball, because in possession we've played some good football and we've made chances.
Well, we're in possession again now with Mick Mills. Trevor Francis outside him. Ray Wilkins have made a good break. Francis now. The Austrians claiming offside, but Francis was onside. The little cross coming in there. The header by Keegan. Rather, it's Koppel, my mistake. It was Koppel, and you saw how annoyed he was. Francis, in fact, added a fair bit of pace down this left flank. And Koppel nodding the ball wide. He'd be annoyed with himself for that, and quite rightly. But he was back there with Wilkins. It's a free kick. Bobby?
Yes, there was a classic example of Ray Wilkins there doing very much better. His tracking down of the midfield player there is spot on, and he's getting his challenge in. Now, that's what he's got to do. And if he does that, he'll still get possession of the ball, and he'll still be able to attack, as he's got the ball there now.
Francis, a little 1-2 with Keegan. Can Francis get it back? He can. In fact, he deflected off an Austrian defender behind for a corner, but the Austrians wanted to bring on a substitute, Walter Schachner. But Trevor Francis has added a bit of pace to this second half, down that left flank in particular. He's on in the second half. Here's Schachner. There was a bit of a surprise in Austria that Schachner wasn't in the 11, and there's applause all around the Prada Stadium that he's coming on now. Scored one brilliant goal, you may remember, in the World Cup against Spain. Austria's first goal in Argentina, when he ran half the length of the field to slam in the goal. But a corner for England, taken by Brooking. And it's Phil Thompson who's gone up there, and it's behind for the goal kick. Well, it's Schachner on, and it's Welzel who scored 2 of the goals, who's gone off. So England still 3-2 down. Ball out of play on the far side. Robert Sara, the Austrian captain. Now Hattenberger playing the ball forward to Schachner. Good strong running player. But offside. Keegan taking it forward now for England. Keegan with Hattenberger right at his heels again, but the back heel by Keegan finding Wilkins. In there towards Francis, and now Brooking with Barnes outside him. Played for Mills. And Welzel, who's gone off, wasn't exactly match fit. They feel obviously that the fresh legs of Schachner can provide a few more problems for England, but it's a problem for Austria at the moment, with another free kick for England, which Trevor Brooking will float. Keegan's toward the near post. Dave Watson's up in there as well, but the Austrians quite able to cope with that one. Hattenberger getting it away, and here's Schachner again. Oh, it had to be a free kick. Brooking and Watson holding him back. Schachner now. Well, Phil Thompson there. Wilkins. Barnes. In for Wilkins again. Keegan. The ball was unkind to him there, but he still went past Yara. He's going past them all. He's looking to get in there, but in the end, the ball was played just a little too firmly in front of him. But he said it's a free kick for England, a handball by Prohaska. And a few anxious Austrian shouts from around me at the moment that were full of jubilation just before half-time, seeing England coming more into this game in the second half. Wilkins caught a little bit of sleep there, in fact, from that free kick from Mills, giving Austria possession now. But that bounce should allow Phil Thompson to get in. Mills, Wilkins, leaving it for Keegan. Brooking's up outside him on the left-hand side. Here's Trevor Brooking. And Barnes had gone too far inside. And here come Austria again with Sara, their captain. Kreutz. Prohaska. Free kick with a foul by Dave Watson. Coming up to a quarter of an hour of the second half gone. Well, the rain has kept off. It's a beautiful mild night, but it's red hot out there at the moment with 5 goals in this game so far. Austria leading 3-2. And a throw for them now. And the ball with Prohaska. Playing more in the midfield in the second half. He is a midfielder by nature. He was named as a striker. But here's Keegan, who plays everywhere. Neil to Watson. Thompson. Well, that was a wasted ball there, straight to Schaffner. A lazy ball played by Phil Thompson. That's unlike him. Schaffner now, the substitute. Through the legs of Phil Thompson there. That was really adding insult to injury, but there was no obstruction, according to the Belgian referee, and it's Ray Wilkins finding Kevin Keegan. Barnes. Popples on this side. Francis is through the middle. Kreutz. And Yara, beautiful skills by him to Baumeister. Now Prohaska. Going a long way and dangerously so. Played the ball inside to Kreutz. Played back again. Past Clements. Diving again. And Clements getting it well there at the second attempt. But the linesman had his flag up. And a free kick. What about Ray Clements there, Peter Shilton?
Yeah, it was a great save by Ray, forced the man out wide, but as you can see, you know, he should never have been allowed to run through the defence there, really.
It's Trevor Brooking now for England. And you still feel this game is beautifully balanced, even though the Austrians are looking dangerous and are leading by 3-2. Brooking finding Keegan. Looking for a bit of magic from this little man. Scored 1 goal already tonight. The other English goal coming from Steve Coppell. Brooking playing it on for Barnes. Free kick. Sala to Obermeyer. Number 3, the sweeper. And now Petsai, scorer of the first goal for Austria tonight. Certainly great determination, very positive coming forward, but Dave Watson stopping him that time. Keegan again looking for the ball. Seems to be the clearinghouse for so much in the middle of the field for England at the moment. The little chip this time finding Mick Mills. Barnes, now will he take on his man? One lovely run of his in the first half with a shot that the goalkeeper really knew very little about. And here's Barnes again. Holding off Schaffner well there, a little touch through to Brooking and another touch back, beautifully weighted ball, but Barnes couldn't quite gather it up. And Watson, well, he was beaten for a moment in the air, but recovered quickly enough against Prohaska. Phil Neal for England. Phil Thompson. Wilkins, played for Brooking. Played in for Trevor Francis now, looking to get the cross in. Played it instead for Coppell. And now for Barnes, didn't get a shot in, but Wilkins has! And it's 3-3! Beautifully made England goal. Ray Wilkins, the scorer, with a really blinding right foot shot. And from 3-1 down just before half-time, England have got back to 3-3. And this is a shot coming up now from Ray Wilkins, hit superbly, made just a glance off Petsai, and beyond Concilia into the back of the Austrian net, 3-3. Peter Shilton, what do you feel about that now?
Yeah, well, it's fabulous that. That's really got the lads level again, and they look as though they could go on to win the match, because the Austrians look as though they've really tired in the second half. But I thought the goal took a slight deflection, but nevertheless it was a great goal.
Bobby Robson, briefly.
Well, concentration is needed here now. We mustn't, let our hearts rule our head. We've got a hold of the game now. Good work there by Francis. I was just beginning to think, now, come on, Trevor, get yourself into the game. And he did, because it was a good cross. He's added a bit of pace and a bit of liveliness to the attack. And we've now got to put ourselves in a very good position here. Keep our heads, make the ball work, concentrate in defence, no silly lapses, and we just might, put this game in a nice position for ourselves.
So concentration is what we want. But it's concentration as the Austrians have a free kick. And this really is some game now. England 1-0 down, 2-0 down, 2-1, then 3-1 down. And now in this second half, 2 goals in the opening 18 minutes or so has brought it back to 3-3. And it says an enormous amount. I mean, character is an easy word to talk about, but it shows, I think, the sort of spirit there is in the side at the moment, but they need to concentrate now. No, they don't, because that was a poor cross. But I think, Bobby, it's indicative of the spirit that Ron Greenwood's got in the England side at the moment. They've come back so brilliantly here tonight.
No, you've got to hand it to them, absolutely. I mean, absolutely marvellous, really. I mean, 3-1 down, away from home after a long, hard season. While it's a cool evening, I'm sure these boys here, feeling a little bit tired, and obviously 3-1 down, you're feeling jaded too, but they've showed great spirit, and I think that's the key word. If we can just keep our enthusiasm going for the match and now want to win it and not lose it, we could do very well here.
Well, as you can see, Zanon, the number 13, warming up there. As Peter Shilton was saying, the suggestion that they might just be getting a little tired, the Austrians, in this second half, needing another fresh pair of legs. And again, a good England cross there, and Concilia happy to push that cross away from Koppel. It falls to Peter Barnes, and now here's Trevor Francis playing it in early. Barnes tried to get the volley on it, and the Austrians were happy to get that one away. Neil now playing it in for Wilkins. Now for Phil Thompson. And all the noise of the first half here has subsided a good deal. Keegan. Francis. Swift challenge there by Petsai before Francis could really do anything with it. Watson playing it short for Thompson. And again England in a good position with Peter Barnes on that side. But, good piece of Austrian defence there by Baumeister. A throw. Obermeyer. Yara. Obermeyer, the sweeper, number 3. Shackler. But Mills winning that battle, finding Watson. And that's going to be an England ball. Coming up to halfway through the second half. (3-3) the score. It's Francis. Bit of space ahead of him which he can use. Playing it wide again now for Peter Barnes. Jink and a little dummy and a good cross coming in towards Trevor Brooking. It was just a little too high for him. Goal kick. Sara on the ball now for Austria. Kreutz, Petsai. Ball eventually finding Sarah. Keegan coming back to tackle him. And the whistle gone for a free kick for the foul by Keegan. Looked a little harsh. Kreutz. Shakhtar and Yurin. And a free kick there for the foul on Yurtin by Koppel. So a free kick for Austria. Ray Wilkins calling people back. Keegan looking round to make sure everything's organised as Sarah is told to place the ball in a different spot. Again, the need for England to concentrate. Dave Watson having a word with the referee about something there. Something that may have happened off the ball as Sarah curls in the free kick. Oh, and a beautiful goal. Petsai has done it again. What? So, 4-3 for Austria. And the man who scored the first goal, that big defender, Petsai, was allowed to get above them all. Peter Shilton.
Well, really, that's a terrible goal to lose. It was a great flighted ball, and it comes over, but he's completely unmarked, and he heads it down, and Ray's got no chance really. Another bad goal to lose, but I still think we can win the game.
So optimism there from Peter Shilton. As you could see on that slow motion, the marking in the England defence was poor when they needed to concentrate. The amount of space, and Petsai is just about the biggest player in the Austrian side. They really should have seen him and picked him up. Bobby Robson, a real lapse in the English defence.
Listen, I used a word not long ago about concentrating and about marking of opponents, and that's all it was really. He got in between Thompson and he got in between Watson, and he jumped well, of course, but he was unmarked and he heads a free ball again. That's two he's got.
Well, a pity England couldn't do the same thing at the other end there. Well, they are a tremendously competitive side, and you've got to hand it to them as well. To lose a 3-1 lead, one would have thought the pendulum would have swung much more now towards England's way, but the Austrians have found that little bit of something, and they've got back to 4-3 with that goal by Petsai. And here's Barnes. The cross in again, maybe too close to the keeper, unless I think Koppel really knew where the ball was bouncing. And now Kreutz. Keegan getting in there to check his run though. And 20 minutes remaining. And as Peter Shilton said, once Petsai had got that header in, it was an absolutely unstoppable effort. They were giving Clements no chance whatsoever. So England are punished for their mistake and have now got to try and rectify it. And Brooking losing possession. And I think the whistle has gone, yes, as Yurtin went through. Mills. Watson having his pass to Barnes, intercepted by Sarah. A few drops of rain beginning to fall. Keegan trying to get in there, finding McMills. Playing the game towards Francis, brought down on the edge of the penalty area, and a free kick to England, right on the edge of that Austrian penalty area. Now this might be interesting if England can develop something from this. I imagine Brooking will have something to say about it, Keegan would have something to say about it, and the Austrians might now be facing a minor crisis. With something like 17 minutes to go. As you can see, the goalkeeper there at the near post, trying to organise that wall. 4 men in the Austrian wall. And the Belgian referee wanting them to get back the full 10 yards. So there could be a shot on for Wilkins in that central position if the ball is played to the right of Keegan and Brooking. Brooking playing it for Keegan. Hitting the post! Well, a desperate piece of luck there for England. Touched by the keeper, as Peter Shilton is quick to point out, and Bobby Robson. Oh, and saved again. That time from Koppel. Peter Shilton.
I couldn't believe the goalkeeper there. He had 4 men in the wall. I'll just leave him in.
Yes, sorry, Peter. The Austrians are going to get it away. We'll get Peter Shilton's view in just a moment. Off that post after the keeper had just got a touch. It's with Wilkins at the moment. It's with Mills. So England still very much in the reckoning, although that is 4-3 down with 16 minutes to go. A free kick. Terrific game of attacking football, though. There's certainly mistakes being made at both ends. Enough to suggest that we haven't seen the end of the goals yet, as Brooking now floats that long high cross to big Dave Watson on the far side. Now Neil with a chance to cross it in once more. He does so. Keegan is there waiting, and he has it knocked off the top of his head by Hattenberger. Peter Shilton, going back to that one against the post, you were saying?
Yeah, I couldn't believe the goalkeeper only had 4 in the wall. I thought either side we could have put it, and he would have been struggling. And as it was, he only just got a touch on the side that he was covering.
Well, he got a good touch to that one as he punched it away, but there's Wilkins covering up and finding Mick Mills now for England. That might go all the way back to Clements, with now just a quarter of an hour to go. Hattenberger, a misguided header there. Koppel can't keep it in play, but it's an England throw. Francis to Koppel. Get past his man again. A good cross coming in. Keegan's right in there. Pulled down, but no suggestion of a penalty. Brooking turning it back in once more. And the Austrians really at full stretch. A good fight back again by England. And another corner. Brooking will take it. Watson is up. Phil Thompson is up. There's the corner now. Knocked away again. It was Petsai who got a very important header in there for the Austrians. Nil playing it quickly though towards Koppel. And Obermeyer getting it back that time to his keeper Consilia. There seem to be plenty of goals when England play Austria. The 3-2 in 1952 here that England won. There was a 3-2 in 1965 at Wembley that the Austrians won. A 7-0 at Wembley that England won. And now a 4-3 here tonight with Austria leading with 14 minutes to go. Barnes for England. For Kevin Keegan. Oh yes, just a little too long on that. And the marker got the better of him, and it's Hattenberger. Keegan trying to go back, brings him down. That's definitely a free kick. Keegan caught in possession in the first place. And I must say, Hattenberger showed a fantastic amount of pace to get away from Keegan there, giving the Austrians a free kick, and we have to hope that the marking this time is going to be a little bit better by the England defence. Petsai is going forward once more with Prohaska as Sara takes this free kick. 4-3 at the moment, and we certainly don't want it 5-3. Played short this time to Yara. Oh, my goodness, with that brilliant left boot of his. That's the first time we've really seen Yara have a pot on goal, but he's renowned for a really brilliant left foot. Sara just playing the ball inside here for Yara. The space was there. It was beautifully weighted for him. And about 2 yards wide. Wilkins. Koppel desperately trying to keep the ball in play, but only does so for the benefit of Baumeister, then fights and gets it back himself. And here comes Shackler again now for Austria. But a good stop that time by Dave Watson. Koppel, who's had a very good second half, but that's a poor pass that gave Brooking no chance. Kreutz not quite so dominant in the second half as he was in the first. Feeling the pace a little bit, maybe. Obermeyer taking their time now, the Austrians. But still with about 11 minutes to go. 11 minutes where England will be searching for an equaliser to finish the season on the right sort of note in a game that's been a battle for them and an uphill battle for so long. And here come the Austrians once more. Prohaska there, but again it was Phil Thompson that time who not only stopped him but then found a good pass for Koppel. Here's Wilkins spraying it left here for Peter Barnes. Keegan, Brooking, Wilkins, Koppel. Phil Neal away on the far side. Mick Mills popping up in an inside right position from left back. And Koppel again, looking to get his crossing. Got it in well. Petsai getting it away, and a corner for England. 10 minutes to go. Brooking will take it. Watson and Thompson again in that Austrian penalty area. Keegan's there as well. Trevor Francis in there too. Played wide for Phil Neal. Back again for Brooking, who's offside. The linesman's got his flag up. And a free kick for Austria. I'm just wondering, Bobby Robson, whether Ron Greenwood might be tempted to bring a substitute on for a last 10-minute fling, someone like Laurie Cunningham.
Well, it'll be in his mind, of course. He hasn't got too long, and he's got to be positive about this. It's rather a shame, because at 3-3 it just looked as though the Austrians had just gone physically, and England at that stage looked to be the stronger team, and I thought they would have the stronger legs. And then that shot goal, in a sense. But we're fighting. We haven't given it up yet. I'd like to see a bit more Trevor Francis. You know, he's come on and he's had his bits and his pieces, but he's got to demand the ball. He's got the pace, and he should be fresher, and he should be fitter than the others, and he should be given more to the team.
Well, he tried to get on the end of that one and couldn't quite make it. And the ball falling instead for Kreutz for Austria. Getting past Keegan. Watson's coming in to make his challenge, and he's gone past Watson as well. The little ball for Prohaska here. And Austria could be dangerous once more, but that time Clemens is down well to save. From Yutin. But they're still, well, funnily enough, as we were talking, Laurie Cunningham in fact has got off the bench and has started to warm up. Well, it would be a last glorious fling for England if he could come on, but Barnes neatly doing Sara there. Oh, taken down mercilessly there by Hattenberger, and a yellow card for Hattenberger for the foul on Peter Barnes, and there can be no complaints about that. A cold-blooded and calculating challenge there on Peter Barnes. Yes, you can do that, but the challenge was always an unfair one. A free kick then for England. Wilkins chested down there by Francis to Brooking. Back to Francis again. Crossed in once more. Too high for Keegan. Watson was right in there too, looking for support. Finds Koppel with a beautiful pass. Koppel with the shot. And down beyond the goal, but off the defender for another corner. With 8 minutes to go now. England 3-4 down. And Brooking with the corner. Gone a long way, but Barnes maybe to get a shot in, or at least to get a cross in. Over the top and a goal kick. Laurie Cunningham now with his tracksuit top off on the bench. As Consiglio takes the goal kick. The Austrians again stopped that time unfairly though by Phil Neal, although he felt he played the ball, and Laurie Cunningham there about to come on. They haven't got the card, so we can't see who it is at the moment who's coming off. Free kick for Austria. Time is flying now for England. Yara is the man who looks as though he's lining up this free kick with this devastating left foot of his, but it'll be a fairly optimistic hope of goal from something like 30 yards. Past an England wall with something like 5 players in it, and then to get past Ray Clements as well. Kreutz leaping over it, Prohaska going over the middle touch there, and it's Sara now taking that ball from Yara, getting the cross in, and Petsai is there. Is it going to be a hat-trick for him? No, because Francis gets it away. Played now for Ray Wilkins. The ball out of play. Now a chance for Laurie Cunningham to come on. Who's coming on? Peter Barnes. It's Peter Barnes who's coming off as Laurie Cunningham waits to go on with a little over 5 minutes left. Well, it was some good moments from Peter Barnes tonight. But a gamble now by Ron Greenwood, the last throw really, in an effort to pull back this last equalising goal. With England 4-3 down and now exactly 5 minutes left. Cunningham, who showed some really amazing bursts of acceleration in Sweden that really disrupted the Swedish defence. And let's hope he can do the same in the minutes that remain here in Vienna tonight. At the moment, though, it's Yara. Neil with a header back to keeper Ray Clements. Francis. Bobby Robson wanting to see more of Trevor Francis demanding the ball. Well, he's got it now with Neil outside him, with Popple going through the middle. There's Wilkins. Now Cunningham's first touch. England's throw. 4 minutes left. Cunningham again. Played for Neil. Now Thompson. Watson. Only England's second defeat in 19 games if they can't pull back this 4-3 deficit. And Thompson turning it back to Ray Clements, who will want to get the ball forward quickly. A quick throw out here. 4 minutes to go, as you can see on the caption there. Some whistles in the crowd. Neil finding Cunningham. Haven't had seen Laurie get a good run at the ball yet. But now we may, until he's finally brought down, giving England a free kick. But a really entertaining game of football with the 7 goals and England looking for one to make it 8. As Brooking lines up this free kick. And again, Dave Watson forward. Phil Thompson making a run in towards the near post, and he very nearly got a header in there too. Mills coming to cut this one out, flicking it there for Watson. A nice bit of skill on the chest, but the pass to Mills never really looked like reaching him, but Mills fighting to get possession once more. Watson shielding it, finding Wilkins. Played again for Keegan, but even his enthusiasm wouldn't get that one. 3 minutes to go. Well, certainly when the Austrians were 3-1 up in the as we came towards half-time and were dominating the game, and England weren't getting to grips with anything in the middle of the field, you feared that it might be a really heavy defeat. Not that any defeat is acceptable, but 4-3 is a lot better than it looked as though it might have been at one time. Wilkins, though, to Cunningham. On my watch, exactly 2 minutes now to go. As Neil looks to find Cunningham again, and the ball just a little too firmly played. A throw to Austria. Really just 2 minutes of the season left now, and England just needing one big strike now to give it a fairly happy ending. .90 seconds left. Peter Shilton going off back to join his teammates, and our thanks to him for the comments he's given us in the second half. Played on that time by Brooking. Cunningham with the throw. Exactly a minute left now. Baumeister happy to thump that ball away. Neal, a nicely cushioned header that time for Cunningham. A little bit of skill by him, and some more yet. And a cross that comes in a little too high, though, for Francis. It was Petsai who got it away. And a slight bit of shenanigans going on there involving Phil Neal and Kreutz. And a free kick for England. And this is almost really the last throw. The last half minute of the game. England 4-3 down. And with the last chance coming up, one imagines, to pull back that fourth goal as Wilkins hits the free kick high towards Phil Thompson, gets the header in, and they're all in there, and in the end it was Brooking, I think, whose header went over. A last quick comment from Bobby Robson on England's performance tonight.
Well, in the main, I don't think Ron Greenwood were too disappointed. I mean, what has lost us the match has simply been mistakes. Defensive errors in the heart of our defence there. On pure man-to-man marking, simple as that. In possession, we've made chances, we've looked a good football team. One or two players here have played very, very well indeed. And I'm rather sorry we haven't got a result, because it's been a marvellous tour. We got the result we wanted, of course, in Bulgaria. And everyone has played their part. It's been a very happy tour, and it's just a shame that we aren't going back, if that may be the case, because the match isn't over yet, although it's about to be so. But it's rather a shame, because it has really been a very good tour indeed.
Well, 4-3 it is, the last seconds. All the cameramen around, and you saw the pictures a moment ago of the Austrian manager, Karl Stotz, and his deputy, Herbert Schmidt. Playing out the last seconds now, unless England can really find something in the seconds that remain. Another free kick for them. Maybe it's not all over yet. They've played a minute of injury time. Dave Watson being told to get the ball forward quickly. Brooking will take it. Watson going on his way up there. Phil Thompson's already up there. Brooking with the free kick. Petsai with the header away. It comes as far as Laurie Cunningham. Played in once more and over the crossbar, but only just. So a goal kick. In fact, it's all over. The final whistle.